What's up, good people? Proactive is the name of the show. All this time, that's how I'll be introducing this thing. Hi, guys. Welcome to Proactive. It's been a good one. Hi, Elsie. How you doing?
Hi, Timu. I'm okay. How are you?
Niko salama. Happy Mashujaa.
It's not Mashujaa. It's Jamhuri.
Manze.
We're celebrating 57 years of independence, Ama.
The fact that you know that, me, I'm already here stuck on, and last episode, we were just talking about these holidays and how they don't make sense to me.
They should make sense to you.
Sorry. Happy Independence Day. Wait, Jamhuri is attaining self-government ama ni independence?
See, I think it's independence, Ama.
Alafu ya...
Jamhuri ya Kenya, Republic of Kenya. Yes, so when Kenya became a republic, I guess.
And then
Madaraka.
Madaraka ndio ya independence.
Hata visijui, to be honest. But I know one commemorates when Kenya attained self-government, when Kenya became a republic. Mm-hmm. And the other one commemorates when Kenya became independent. And I think Jamhuri should be when Kenya became a republic. And we became a republic in 1964.
Happy 57 years of something.
Likewise.
How's your week been?
My week has just been okay. Mm-hmm. Just the usual. Working out, enjoying the sun. It's been sunny. And I'm grateful. Yeah, it's December. So now I'm just looking forward to the Christmas holidays.
For real?
Yes, I am.
Lucky you, Manze. What's interesting that happened this week for you?
This week, at a personal level, nothing out of the ordinary happened. But,
okay.
Kenya lost a senator yesterday.
Oh, and it is alleged.
It is alleged. It is not proven.
That he was on the blue pill.
There are allegations. Either blue pill, but apparently the family is talking about COVID-19. We don't know. So may his soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
Notwithstanding how he died and what caused his death.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that was on a light note. I know I might be green for making a joke like that.
Even if it's true, let's just hope that now it serves as a lesson to our men out there.
Yeah.
To take care of their health.
For sure. and once the conversation is out there, we're heading towards becoming yellow tape all of a sudden. I'm able to focus because as a topic for yellow tape, seriously. But I agree with you. We need to work out, as you said, instead of looking for performance enhancements.
Yes, exactly.
I totally agree. My week has been good, though. Interesting thing that I learned today. You see those tiles that NMS has put all over the city, and even as you're heading towards Ngong Road, I found out that people are really neglecting the bikers lane. There's actually a bikers lane. So you notice even when you're going...
Oh, there's red and I think gray.
A red and a gray.
So
people...
Which one is the bikers lane?
The bike lane is the red one.
The red one.
Okay. So Kenyans are fully focused thinking that this thing was built for them. They're supposed to be. So a biker was just going through the city and he came all the way from Ngong Road as you go down. And people have actually even blocked some lanes that should be the bikers lane. Like they park their cars. Even the police are controlling traffic from a bikers lane. So it was interesting for me to learn that. I mean... now I know when I'm walking, at least najua ni side gani nafaa kwa kitamu. Mi sitakudanganya. The red lane red is always attractive. It just draws you there.
Yeah.
And I've always walked on the red lane, not even knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
So it was...
I thought that was just for, aesthetic.
Decoration.
Yeah.
Until a biker comes and tells me Kenyans don't even understand this thing. And I'm watching it even on YouTube. I think I was watching it on YouTube. Those ones that just pop out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, so what are you trying to tell us? I'm like, haya, kumbe red lane ni yenyu. But I think it's a smart thing to sensitize people on this thing. I don't think anything big for me on a personal level happened this week. I am really trying my best to figure out. December has just been work for me. There's nothing that exciting that I can say that's been there. But on the other side, it's finally the Maraga is gone.
Oh,
Maraga has gone home,
He's
manze.
terminal leave. He's on
Yes.
leave actually.
Ati uko job tu lakini uko leave lakini hata ukirudi
Yeah, as in ako leave lakini by the time anafaa kurudi job atakuwa ameretire.
utakuwa ameretire. That's pretty smart of him, manze. Unakula ya mwisho tu kama
Maraga has been an amazing Chief Justice. He
I
will definitely be remembered forever and ever as the first CJ who nullified an election, a presidential
election.
in
But I
East
like
Africa.
that he stood for what the constitution entails. Like the whole time, yani, he's fought for this constitution. And I'm even shocked that he could actually... even when he's going, yani, he's already like, look...
He's leaving a legacy,
Yeah,
actually.
yani anatoka naambia, skiza, bado ndawapatia advice. Wachaneni na kupatia hapa hii jina nikisema. Msinicheke. Producer, msinicheke. Lakini, iseme, jue ndio,
Ombudsman.
Yo! It was like, don't give it to these people to choose who would go there. Give the Judicial Service Commission to choose the people who would be there. Because it's fine. It's a good idea. But how you're going about it is what is wrong. So that was interesting for me to learn also from them. So I think he's done an amazing job.
He has.
And even nullifying an election, yani. That was interesting
He
for me.
stands for constitutionalism, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll forever remember that quote, that the greatness of a nation lies in its fidelity to the constitution, respect for the rule of law, and above all, respect for God.
For sure.
Yes.
And I remember even when he was being appointed, like trying to get some dirt on him, and
it was difficult.
It was
so one of
very
the
difficult.
things they had against him was the fact that he's an SDA, a staunch SDA, and he was even questioned whether he'd actually skip church to attend a court session, and he actually stood for no.
Yeah.
That is my day for worshiping. Yeah.
I respect him. I think he recommended Philomena.
I don't know.
I don't know who he...
Has he recommended a successor?
I don't know if it was recommended or whoever takes when he's terminally on...
when he actually retires, JSC will have to embark on a search.
So who is holding down the fort when he's on leave?
The Deputy Chief Justice, of course.
Who is...
Justice Philomena
Mwilu.
Yeah.
All right. Who are you looking forward to see?
I honestly have no idea who's likely to take over. Maybe Justice Philomena. Maybe Nancy Barasa if she'd like to come back and try it again, because I believe people make mistakes and people deserve a second chance.
I mean,
and her term ended so quickly back when she was Deputy
It was
Chief
just
Justice.
a nose.
If I were her, I would try my luck.
For sure.
I would.
Yeah.
And just tell them,
Come
know what?
defend
It was a
yourself.
mistake. I regret. I paid for it. I actually resigned. But, give me another chance.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's good to learn. What else can we say has been happening?
Impeachment. Well, we're still waiting for the Senate.
Yeah, still waiting for the Senate.
Tell us the fate of Nairobi County.
Yeah, I saw they're taking it to a committee, yeah?
Oh, I haven't been following.
Yeah, I think so. They're taking it to the committee.
I just know now it's at the Senate. So Asonko's fate lies in the hands of the senators. At the Senate.
At the Senate.
Yeah.
In Nairobi tatuonesha mambo, as we always say.
Umesikia rumors za lockdown looming.
Another one. Let me tell you, even now as I was coming, I mean, people think COVID is just around the CBD. Walking around in other areas, let me tell you, if the demographic is young people, you'll see them even walking around with no masks. Yeah, COVID is just around the CBD. Let me know. That's what people think. A matatu entering. Matatus have eased up on the restrictions that they were given.
True.
They're not even
That's
following
true.
them.
Yeah.
Blatantly, like nimekuja na matatu watu walikuwa wamejaa watu watano kwa mlango. Yani hadi kuna mdema anapiga story na pia amehanga ameshikilia. I'm like, what's happening? People, this thing is serious. I'm trying to tell the lady next to me like, yo, open this window bana, huku hapa venye tunajistaff hapa ndani tunataka tu kujiambukiza. Pia yako kwa zoni yake hataki, pia hataki kufungua dirisha. I was irritated the whole ride, and you were like, hey. It was shocking for me to see that, and I was like, hey, clearly COVID is just for It's just in some areas and it's not everywhere.
Or rather, people are not taking it seriously. They're not giving it the seriousness it deserves.
Yeah, so a lockdown looming is not shocking in news for me. It will happen.
It will. Well,
I'm
I hope
sorry.
it doesn't happen, or if it happens, at least inipate ushago. Anyway,
I saw graduation jana and I was almost about to call you.
oh yeah, people are graduating yesterday, University of Nairobi.
Yeah, I almost
virtual
call.
graduation.
I
No, I'm
almost
not.
call alafu ndio ikanihit. What am I doing? What's wrong with me? But anyway, today, guys, episode is more or less just closing down on the whole year. We're just taking the annual Christmas break as it should be, letting you guys go share time with family and just have a bit of chapos and nyama. And this one is just an episode for reflection.
Looking back.
Yeah, just looking back on all that we've done and how the journey has been so far. And a big shout out to our producer. He came up with the blueprint for see what I did there, guys. Go watch Blueprint. Just came up with a structure for how we're gonna go about today. So big shout out to Kevin for working on it. Producer Kevin for just making sure that we also have some time to be grateful for stuff and reflect on the journey so far. Sindio?
Yeah.
I know we want to, our hearts are here ready to talk about the Bill of Rights and how big it is, but we're going to give it time and we're going to let you guys go enjoy the festivities. Ndio mkirudi hapa sasa tuko serious, ndio mkipatana na watu kwa barabara kutoka Januari mpaka December huko, unajua your rights, you know.
Yeah.
Have ample time to discuss about it. Yeah, so what are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for this year? Finally, nimemaliza shule.
Hey.
That's something I'm grateful for. And of course, the opportunity to record these podcasts right here on Acute Media. Yeah.
Eish. We umeifanya ikuwe so formal. Hebu ongea vitu zingine, ongezea vitu bana.
Niongeze vitu.
Ulianza
I'm grateful for many things. Yeah, by the way, nilianza gym.
Gym sio kitu umekuwa ukifanya, usijaribu kutudanganya.
No, squeezy nimezoea. Squeezy, it's part of my life, you know.
You're working with the UN. What's wrong with you? Do I need to tell you what you're grateful for?
Yes, I'm grateful for very many things. And it also includes that, of course, my family. Yeah, my goals. Have I attained all of my goals? I need to go back to where I wrote down my New Year resolutions and start checking and
Si sorry, yani unaandikaga hizi vitu. Okay. I think for me, proactive, I think, was one of those things that I really needed. Like, I needed to knock off my bucket list. And there was a sole purpose of why I really wanted to start something. And a conversation that wase wataanza ku think through what they're doing, because most of the times, like, first thing people think about is tuende kwa streets, but unaenda kwa streets usikia zile comments zinapeana uko like saa wewe ulikuja tu kuvuruga, hata ujui why you're doing it. And half the time I like that I would see Okiya Mtata go to court with something solid. And everybody would be there funny, like, about him, making jokes about him, yet they don't know how much this guy is defending. Well, at times, everyone made it look like ametumwa, amelipwa, and wakuja a stop kitu yoyote anaweza stop. But I liked that he advocated for things that were there in the Constitution, even to the point of hata noti ya Kenya.
By the way, are you aware? I think Okiya Mtata also recently won a court case just this past week that requires the members of parliament to refund all the monies that they irregularly awarded themselves without the approval of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. Hizi allowances wamekuwa wakijiongezea. Yes, there was a high court ruling by Okiya Mtata and SRC this past week.
Imagine.
Yeah.
And so that's what has been, like, the reason as to why I really wanted to start this, because I feel like we've spent so much time on the streets to no avail. And there's a way that we can win this much better, either with the ballot or with the courts. Like, they're arms of government that are supposed to be ours. Like we use them to protect and to defend this constitution.
Because we donated our powers to them, our sovereign power.
Ni mshahara yetu wanakula wakijiongezea.
Yeah.
You know, and so Proactive was one of the things I've been grateful for. I mean, also thinking through a whole idea that I am going to be someone's husband.
Congratulations.
In the near future, you know.
No, in less than a year, actually. Less than a year from now.
Yeah, so that's also exciting.
Such a time as this, next year utakuwa bwana mtu.
Manze, utakuwa nafanya hii show in a different way bana. So that's also exciting for me. And I look forward to this new journey. I think that's been one of my biggest highlights out of it all. So these are two things that I really wanted to do this year. Yeah.
Journey so far for the podcast. How are you finding it? What does the podcast mean to you? You've already answered that.
I think we've answered. Are you satisfied, Kevin, with our answer? Of course, you're not going
Our
to
listeners
speak.
are wondering, who's Kevin?
Yes, who's Kevin?
Who's
Kevin, the
Kevin?
producer, is here, and he needs to know. Are you okay with the fact hata hujasikia kama tumejibu ama hatujajibu? Hatuulizaga maswali ngumu alafu anatuhepa ati atakuja kutusikiza baadaye. But I think we have, just starting it and making, maybe for you, what do you think? Because you joined probably episode 3 from
yes.
episode 3, and first 2 episodes you were not there, but through this all, what do you think about Proactive for you?
Proactive has been an interesting journey for me. I never thought that I'd ever record a podcast. I didn't even know much about podcasts. I'd only hear about them. But now, again, like I said, through Acute, I've managed to do what I love, discuss what I love discussing, matters to do with constitutionalism, because that's my favorite branch of law, by the way. Anything to do with democracy, governance, conducting civic education.
Kuna part ya constitutional law yenye unafaa umeenda family law kufanya?
No, napenda family law bado.
Hey.
Bado, yeah.
Wacha tusingie hiyo story.
Family, constitutional, international, that's my thing.
All right.
Yeah, so, just getting to educate people, because I love educating people. It's something that I did also before I started recording this podcast. At some point, I actually used to also conduct civic education, but via, what do you call this? Blogs. Yeah, but just for some time, then I stopped writing. So now at least I'm able to talk about, issues. I'm able to discuss issues. I'm able to analyze issues through a mic and actually reach out to very many people. People, the typical Kenyan doesn't love to read, but the typical Kenyan wouldn't mind listening. So yeah, reaching out to Kenyans through this podcast has been a very interesting journey for me. I feel satisfied. I feel like I might have made a difference. Though small, but I might have made a difference to someone. Somebody now knows more about the Constitution because of what I have done through this podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You should go back to writing. I'm interested just to see what you are writing about, Yani.
But that was so long ago. I think I was in second year.
Huko sio mbali. Ni miaka tu chache hivi zimepita. But yeah, you should go back. Look, we have gone through the whole season and we didn't tackle COVID. Never said anything about it.
Are you sure we never said
we
anything
were
about
mentioning it to keep it juu.
Are you aware the other thing that's trending in Kenya apart from the blue pill is that saizi ukitembea KEMSA, you might be lucky enough to land a tender. A tender that is worth billions.
150
hata mimi nikitoka hapa nataka kupita tu hapo KEMSA nione. You never know.
Tukitoka tu hivi sai tupitie hivyo tukitembea. Iko hapo Jogoro hivi tutashukia tu hivyo side industrial area tuone kama pia zi tutaangukia tender.
Imagine. So that's COVID-19 for Kenya, well, it was shocking. I think I heard about COVID-19 last year, but I didn't think much of it. And so when we had people are dying in China, also I didn't think much of it.
Yeah.
Still, life was very normal for us Kenyans.
Yeah, everyone thought...
Until Italy happened, people started dying, in Italy. Then we actually started taking this thing seriously. There was an outcry by the Kenyans to the president to stop flights, international flights and all that. Then tukafunga shule, people lost jobs. Yeah, very many people actually lost their jobs, teachers, especially teachers who are not employed by TSC.
Yeah, the private sector.
Private sector really suffered. So, well, COVID has not exactly been friendly to the Kenyans. And then, to make matters worse, you find out that there are COVID-19 millionaires. People have actually made millions and billions thanks to COVID-19. From the Jack Ma donations that mysteriously went missing at GKIA, you know. So it's also exposed the kind of leadership that we have, leadership that we cannot trust even during a serious pandemic, a serious crisis like the COVID-19 pandemic, honestly.
You know.
Yeah. So
And they had a whole year to prepare for this.
Imagine.
They were told, they were warned in advance, and everybody just played it down.
You get to see the same people making laws, the same people, you know, who now issue these directives, curfew directives, social distancing directives, still hold public and political rallies whereby Kenyans come together and they don't maintain the social distancing and all that.
I've been enjoying how economists have been calculating the 14 billion that's supposed to be used for the BBI, and how it would have really like helped with the doctors' payments, hiring more doctors, providing more medical kits.
Yeah.
I mean, everything needs to pause first. We deal with this problem that we have and this pandemic
but now we
that
want
we
to
have.
prioritize the BBI.
You know, and I think for us, first thing would have been screening, testing, and isolating these people. 14
or
billion
even
would have
saving
taken us
that
so
money
far.
to get the vaccine to vaccinate all the Kenyans.
You know, the vaccine was something that came later. Hata ikuwa before. Imekuja tu after.
Yeah.
I remember how
But
South Korea worked on screening, testing, and isolating these people. And they reduced the number such that they don't need to buy so many vaccines now. I mean, that's something that everyone will do later on. But at least they had actually slowed it down.
Yeah.
And that helped a lot for them. Us. My goodness. We decided to politicize this thing.
Yeah, so I'd say COVID-19 has really exposed the poor leadership, you know, that Kenyans have. And of course, it's our fault that we have this poor leadership
chose
that we
them.
are criticizing. Yeah, you know, the doctors, I think nurses are on strike. Doctors want to go on strike. We're even lucky that they postponed the
Alafu
strike.
kimtu kinakuja kinaambia ati rudini mngoje tumalizane na hii kitu ya BBI alafu tutaona ni aje.
You know, honestly, hapo kwa doctors. So I'm glad I didn't study medicine. I wanted to study medicine at some point, but I think it's really unfair for a doctor, because there's a doctor who died this past week, Dr. Stephen Mogusu. He's also been trending. He died, and apparently his body has not yet been released to his family because of the pending bill. He did not have health insurance. He had not been paid because he was employed by the national government, not really by the
The
county
same
government.
doctor who served the hospital is being held back by the hospital so that they can...
Yes. So it's really unfortunate that our medical workers, our health workers are not really protected. Apparently, they still lack PPEs, the personal protective kits and all that. So
And
it's unfortunate. That's what COVID-19 has done to Kenya.
also,
Other than the
COVID has increased our debt.
Oh,
Tuliomba IMF pesa, tunaomba IMF tena pesa, tumekuwa tukiomba tu pesa kila mahali.
to cushion us from the effects of COVID-19.
Surely. Na hiyo pesa ikikuja hata ujui hesabu yake, aujui. Mimi nangojea auditor general atoe do tena, afanyie audit tena, atuambie venye kunaenda. Because right now, I mean, patia cabinet secretary rating 1 to 10. Yani, you have to think about it. No, your heart wants to give him a 3 or a 2, but you're trying to see something technical so that you can add it up to a 50-50. Tuambiane ukweli. As a cabinet secretary, there are times that you're given this post not to ease up and just be nice with the president, but also tell him your situation is dire. How am I going to allow you to have town hall meetings and political rallies, and yet COVID is still real? You need to do something about it. And if you're given that post, you're thinking about the people more. Stop
You
this
have to
whole
think
idea.
about the people, yeah.
Stop
You're
this
there to
whole
serve
idea
the
of thinking
people.
about one person and how his things are going to pass through. I don't understand why we are still dealing with something like this during this season. Everyone else has said pause. Let's think about how to cushion this economic crisis that we are in. Let's think about this medical point that we are at right now.
Yeah.
But kuna mtu tu bado anataka kupiga siasa.
And I hope you're aware that from next year, from probably 1st January, all these COVID-19 cushioning measures zinaenda kuisha.
Zitadai.
Like tax relief have been tax relief, I think. And then I think, you see, the way M-Pesa, you can send money to someone, 1,000 bob
free.
at zero cost. I
Inaisha.
think Inaisha January. So now the reality, Kenyans will have to wake up to the reality that now you have to learn to live with COVID. Yeah.
And we haven't been prepared for so. So for me, in terms of how it's impacted Kenyans haven't been serious about it for sure, but the government has also not been really focused on it. They've been focused on other agendas. They have been on their own business.
No, they need to, to set their priorities right.
For sure.
And health has actually, one of the lessons the world has learned this year, this 2020, is that health is wealth. That there's no point of being wealthy, rich, having all those economic resources if the country citizens are not healthy. COVID-19 is actually killing people with underlying issues of high blood pressure, diabetes, and all that. So now we are learning to, take care of ourselves, to prioritize our health, not to just take health for granted. And I think also governments are learning that. People have been discussing universal health coverage, which reminds me, today is also... nowadays every day there's something being celebrated in the world. Kuna kwanga tu na
kuna ingine tena leo.
Ati Thursday ilikuwa Human Rights Day, World Human Rights Day.
Gosh.
Leo ni Universal Health Coverage Day. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Something that you're also passionate about. Yani, you made me even see how we are still lagging on this. And so
Universal health coverage. It's still a narrative.
Okay. Yani, there's much that we need to learn. But again, there's much that we need to also defend as Kenyans and not expect these people to do anything.
Yeah.
I think what stood out, episode that stood out for me was episode 1. I started a podcast. Yani, that's my episode. I don't know why you would ask me this. I mean, that's episode 1. That's my first day in school. I'm excited, Yani. And I was fidgeting. I was all over the place. I mean, it wasn't structurally like...
Really?
Ilikuwa
freestyle.
Ilikuwa freestyle to some extent. I mean, I remember talking about Babu Owino. I remember Sijui talking about what...
Yeah,
I was all over the place, man. I had no structure. I hadn't thought about it.
You are fidgeting, Timo.
For real.
The way you do this thing like a pro.
Man, this is something that I've learned. Even for me, Blueprint, Kenya's Blueprint, if you go through the first episode and the last episode, you'll see a big difference in the same person who's narrating the story. Mimi, this was first day at school. I think I still remember this. I think this will be my best ever. Episode 1, first day at school. That's what I call it. And I was so happy because I was learning. And this guy came through and made it easy for me. Helped me learn how to go about it, what it needed. Kevin has been amazing. When I'm off, he'll come just move my mic to my face to remind me what I'm supposed to be doing. Taking breaks from the show. Unajua ulikuwa tu umezoea kusikia hizi vitu zikifanywa na wase wengine. And also Dixon being there. Dixon is boss. We call him boss.
We call him Fadela.
Bazu. Yeah. And just hearing what he does on Yellow Tape and getting to just learn from the rest of the guys, and Yahweh also getting to learn from him was so exciting for me. So the journey itself has been amazing. But for me, I can say the episode that stood out for me, and not for anything else, it's just that it was my first day at school, is episode 1.
Okay.
You joined in at episode 3, and over the episodes that we've done with BBI and starting the Constitution one, what can be the one that stood out for you?
Imagine, to be very honest, I don't have a favorite episode. I don't, not at all. I love every episode because I've featured in every episode. So I don't have a favorite episode.
I think
I love all of them equally.
Oh, yeah.
Sibagui.
Okay, so for me, I think the one that I've had most fun with you discussing was the BBI, because I think at the
BBI
end of
we
the
discussed for like 7 episodes.
It was 7 episodes or so, but remember you came supporting it. But by the time we were done, ulikuwa like, okay, kusema ukweli, tuangalie tu katiba yetu inafanya hizi vitu zote, na kuna vitu hata on a global scale inasaidia. Yani hadi kulikuwa na vitu zimetakoliwa as the East African community that it can actually handle this. And I remember even you coming back after doing your interview with
Dr.
Oburu.
Yeah.
I mean, it was exciting for me to learn all this, that I report kumbe hata as much as tunataka kuidefend. Hakuna kitu much inasema. And now it's even being projected even more. People are starting to see wase hii kitu hakuna kitu yote inatusaidia nayo sana. Juu hata kama hawa experts walikam, kuna venye walikuwa na need more input wa understand kenye wanasema. And then we can hold this guy to we hold him accountable to like we kuna vitu unatuambia ulikuwa unafaa kufanya immediately uliingia into office. Wacha kujifanya hapa ni kama utazichange sahi. What's shocking to me is Raila now is comfortable with Chebukati handling this election. This referendum.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Vindu vichenjanga.
Vikolabsanga. I mean, he's comfortable now with the IBC officials that are there. Yeah. Doing his best to go take the signatures, ready for the referendum. Ila IBC ulikuwa na shida nayo the whole time, ulikuwa umesema hakuna kitu itaendelea Kenya mpaka ibadilishwe. Ndio sasa yuko ready kuitumia. So that was exciting.
Such is politics.
I think my most exciting journey for me has how you handled the BBI report the whole time. And I enjoyed that doing with you, and also your sister coming through, Peter on the first episode. This guy is just doing all other aspects, but you just also shedding light on all these other things that are around us that should be the tools that should actually bring all this points that they had, all these 9 of them, and trying to change them. They're actually there for us to defend them. And there's nothing like unity. Out of the report I could see, there's nothing like unity being brought here. Unity for us, it's us Kenyans to be united on some things and defend, uphold, and protect this constitution and respect it also like never before. So that's the most exciting one for me when we did this.
Major happening this year that caught your eye and impressed you. Then after that, you tell us one that pissed you off.
Look, major happening in this year that caught my eye has to be Maraga. Maraga has been one badass. That's that for me, that one, especially with how he went about the 2/3 gender rule and like get it to a point where like skiza fadhela dissolve hii kitu wachana na siasa mingi kwa sababu hawafanyi Kenya wanafaa. I mean, that was such a badass move for me. And how everyone has tried to attack him, yani hadi wanaleta tu dem tu enye umetoka tu out of nowhere ati waseme yeye ni deadbeat. Like umekosa kitu ya kumchapa nayo like morally.
Wewe ule mtu alipot
hiyo kesi hata ilitolewa. Hiyo kitu ilithrow you out.
Wa?
Because mmekosa,
as in that's how desperate his
badass of the year for me
enemies were.
Exactly.
Yani they get a woman to go and claim something and then the woman fails to show up in court,
anakosa tu kutokea,
ana disappear tu hivyo,
kitu yote ina throw you out. So that was so interesting for me just to see yani watu wametafuta kitu ya kukuattack nayo na wamekosa. How awesome is this?
Yeah,
that was, I mean, that one has been
blameless.
Well, I can't say. Of course, he probably has his things, but
no. But then blameless before the society in terms of corruption, ni kama hatutapata kitu. Tukitafuta just something to disqualify him as being a chief justice, hatupati. Hizo zingine ni yeye na Mungu anajua.
The threats that Uhuru put up every time when he said that
we shall revisit. Even if they didn't revisiting, the one who was revisited wasn't even Maraga.
Yeah, it was not Maraga. Like the
DCJ whole.
Yeah. So me, Maraga has been my badass of the year, man. I mean, that was exciting for me. I don't know, like an event-wise, one that has been exciting for me, maybe I don't have any.
You don't have any?
I think there's none that has been that exciting as it is. But one that has pissed me off.
BBI.
Of course. Tuambiane tu kweli. This one is I mean, even the church wamewaambia skizeni I liked what Nani, as he was stepping down from the sit-up leadership, Oginde told the president, skiza hii haraka uko nayo ya kumai train, kuwa mpole, wacha tukuje tukujoin. Lakini kila mtu anamwambia ni nini uko na haraka ya kupasi kitu sahi? Slow down. Ni nini unajaribu kuharakisha? It's not yet time. Hizo vitu zenye unasema, si ukae chini usikize kwanza kenye tunasema. Cause kenye unasema sio ya sahi. Sio ati we need it that much. Baba Kahush also Started out well, along the way akanibo. So and it was even shocking for me the day alikuwa Afya House akisema hizi boma hizi ziko na watu pia wamekwamilia huku wanaleta shida. So it shows the rot in the whole ministry, and even you as a cabinet secretary, you can't even eradicate that rot. It's kind of shocking for me. Then why did we send you there to just go and enjoy the rot? You're supposed to clean it up. You say for sure there's rot in here, kwani ulienda huko kuenjoy? Tulikutuma kama representative ndio ukaenjoy the rot in the house. So mi alianguka mtihani vibaya sana. For sure. And I think those are the two people who have BBI for me has pissed me off. Baba Kahush. Anyway, what's something that has impressed you?
For me, I'd talk about one thing that has both impressed me and disappointed me. This year has been a year of where Kenyans have really used the power that is given to them by this constitution, the power to impeachment. But then last year, Trump alikuwa impeached.
I think ni last year.
He was, so Kenyans now really took up this thing. And they started impeaching governors. And it's not just about Sonko. It's about Waiguru. It's about the attempt to impeach Ngilu. It's about, I think, the Waititu. Waititu was also this year.
I don't think. No.
Waititu
was last year. Kuda ule mwingine wa Embu anakaga akijaribu kutolewa.
Then there was Obado.
Yeah.
So now, the one for Waiguru, okay, there was, first of all, we saw the difference between how Waiguru's impeachment, whatever, process was different from the kind of process that Waititu was taken through. And of course, the end result, Waiguru was saved from impeachment by the committee, which did not find her guilty of all the accusations that the MCAs, who are the people on the ground, brought against her. So there was that. Then now with regards to Obado, there was the fact that ODM was the one that ODM as a party was really pushing for this impeachment agenda. And I felt like ODM really owed it to us as the Kenyans to give us a chapter 6 of this constitution worthy leader. A faithful leader, a leader who abides by the constitution, and not a leader that embarrasses Kenyans, that embarrasses the party, because of the corruption allegations. So I was actually happy when ODM tried to do this, but of course politics, you can find a way to maneuver around it. Unafanya county assembly lack quorum and all that. So ODM abandoned this thing, and now that pissed me off.
I agree.
So I was impressed by the fact that Kenyans are actually now aware about the power they have to impeach these people if they're not performing, if they're abusing office and all that. Sonko has been impeached and all that. I'm impressed, but I'm now disappointed that now the people of Migori waliacha hiyo story. Hiyo story sasa inaisha tu hivyo. So 2022 they might even, will they re-elect? I'm told that term limit ya governors inatolewa na BBI. So
and you know why they are doing that?
I don't know. But now it means the people of Migori will have to continue living with their leader who has 2 court cases, one for murder, a murder case, and the other one for corruption. And Siona Mpenda too, just like that. And,
the accounts were frozen?
And of course there is, I think the accounts were frozen.
Okay.
And I think one of the, not even that I think, one of the defenses this Migori people have, is that why is ODM trying to impeach our governor if they've not even pushed for the recalling of Babu Owino, because of the DJ Evolve incident that he did. So there's always like people who are double standard. So I'm waiting to see now, maybe next year, you never know, not necessarily Babu, even any other MP who also does not live up to the standards of this constitution. I'm waiting to see now people coming out and trying to recall. Because I told you now there's a difference. For governor and president, we impeach, but for MP, we recall. So now I'm waiting to see now they're recalling, because we've never recalled, we've never even tried to recall any MP.
Can us as the people of Embakasi East say that, hey, recolini umse?
Yeah, but there's a process that is outlined by the Elections Act. There's a process. It's a process, by the way.
I
And
think I'll go read on that.
It even has to go through the court. Yeah, you should read it.
Yeah, because now,
Yeah.
I mean, huo msetu alinichosha hadi sikuwa nimemweka kwa wale wasi walini piss off kwa sababu kuna watu wengine tu unachokaga nao hata uwezi kaweka kwa hiyo kategori kwa sababu ushaona mtu tu ulishachoka, unajua tu hii ni shida yetu tu tulijichagulia tungangane nayo. Maze
bado naona anafanya kazi tu hizo barabara zenyu hapana, but he's trying. Naonanga hiyo barabara fedha inatengenezwa kila time.
Moving on swiftly, wachana na huwa hata stakaki kuongea story yake. Nilimuongea episode ya kwanza na nikachoka. The rigidity of Kenyans in terms of leadership and politics being a few of frontliners in trying to shape a new narrative. Does the light at the end of the tunnel seem so far or not? I think there is.
Are you sure?
I honestly as dim as it is, it's there.
Is there light really, Timo? Mi naona tu now, you know?
Wait, hatuwezi kwa tumeanza show.
Next year. Okay, fine. We have Kenyans who are listening to us, and of course we are Kenyans who mean well for the country. But like I always tell people, as much as I don't want this and that for this country, as much as I don't support this person and this person, as much as I don't believe this person who is there right now will make any difference once you pass the BBI, you know, I still don't. Kenyans, we are rigid. It's true. Because I'm just one vote. I might not support person A, and this person A is really pushing for an agenda that I don't really support. But at the end of the day, I'm just one vote. Hata nikisema I'm not for BBI, because what they're promising in the BBI, they can deliver right now without necessarily taking us through an expensive referendum. I am just one vote ya kusema no. So
hata PLO alisema hata kama vote yangu ni moja ndaamka mapema hiyo siku na nitasema z.
For real?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So I'm not hopeful. Like sina hope. Because at the end of the day, I know Kenyans around me, I interact with very many people.
Yeah.
Very many people from even my shags. And for as long as this person amesema for as long as baba amesema ni hivi, tunaenda hivi. So you know, like, how do I start? Even if I try to educate this person, I remember at the end of the day, I am just one vote. Like, my vote is only one.
Look.
And it might be so insignificant. So I feel like there's no change that I'm making. Like, even if I'm making any change, it's not as major as I want it to.
Hear me out, Elsie. The reason why I believe there's hope is because I believe in a system where if I come, I change you, you'll go and change someone else. It's not just a point of me having a podcast and having people listen to it, alafu ishi hapo. I'll always ask you, if you come and tell me, I listened to your podcast and it was amazing, and I'm like, what are you doing about it? Now that you know. Like the people who went like mi hata sikuwa napanga kusoma hiyo kitu na sikuwa na haja nao, but now that unajua, unaambia wase wengine hizi story ama unajaribu ama umemalizia hapo. I mean, you can chip in into a conversation and educate people, and that's where I see hope. Number one, I see hope because of the youth. I mean, we've gotten to a point where we get fed up, yani. We're getting tired. You give us a leeway for the other day you give us sijui how many years free without repaying our loan, student loan, and then you hike the prices.
You triple the fee.
You triple the fee just to show us how stupid we are, and it starts triggering and irritating you. And so even as you go through campus now, you know that people in campus are like, unapatiwa exemption hapo ya hizo miaka chache, lakini fee yako inaenda ina triple. So si juu tu umemaliza unadhani ni wewe peke yake utakuwa umesaidika. Msee mwingine atakuwa ameingia na atapatana na hii shida yote. Hakuna kitu imesaidia. And those conversations that start that's the movement that we're trying to start with, to trigger with Proactive. It's not about the show. It's about the movement that is going to start. If we go out there and someone says, I like your show, the second question is, what are you doing about it? Like, are you telling people about it? Are you telling people about the conversations that we're having? Are you educating them? And I believe our biggest challenge will be in 2021. Because once they're done with the referendum and it's gone, the next conversation right there is elections. 2022 is knocking on the door.
Yeah.
And so,
that's right.
biggest question is, are you concerned about the leader that you will choose, or are you just waking up to go and think about national level? Is your county making sense? We'll get to a point where we'll talk about devolution. We need this person to understand the roles that these people have in the county level, the kind of conversations that they can have in the county level. They say that they can have to a point where national level, national leadership will have to sit back and listen to what we say as a county. Those are the questions that we'll have to bring out clearly in 2021, such that by 2022 mtu akiamka is not even that interested with who they're choosing as the national leader, but they're really focused on who is going to serve them at the county level, and know that resources zenyu zitatumika aje, development itakuja aje, leader wenyu anaenda kupass laws na anaenda kusikiza policies ama anaenda ku bring up stuff in the house that will help you guys in what manner. And those are the things that you will have to push. And so for me, it's not, I see a small dim light that's starting, and I can actually fuel it. Like naeza kaipulizia moto vizuri na naeza katuma watu wengine waipulizie. I think that's why for me there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the next question is, how do we get to that light sooner? Since you see light at the end of the tunnel.
I think I've put it out there. Na nimesema. Elsie tukitoka hapa msea kuambie, I like your podcast. The second part is,
what are you doing about it?
Yeah. And getting people to say, okay, now that you told me what you're doing, go and do it. And once that person gets to hear other things, and my dream has always been, once we get to this point where this podcast, Proactive, is big as it is, we take it now to county level. Tupeleke mashinani kwenye ikizungu yote imeisha sasa naeza kaongea na mtu na dialect yangu nijaribu kumueducate. Because at that point where I'm speaking to him on a personal basis, and even using my mother tongue or you using your mother tongue, and they're getting to hear it in that local dialect, they get to understand what they need to do. Yeah. Podcast itafikia watu wako na wifi na bundles mob. But after that, teremka naye akienda sahi Christmas aende ajaribu kueducate watu wa huko waseme, unajua mi kwetu utasikia probably in my dialect amesema something like BBI negote, like BBI is useless. It's like a waste of time. But you need to educate them and tell them, if it's a waste of time, why are you saying it's a waste of time? Is it from a political point, or have you even focused
have you read it, understood it, and now
do you know where they've picked all these like points from, and what they could have done constitutionally? Yeah, so that's the thing for me, fueling the conversation even down to the grassroots. That's how I think I need to make the light be bigger sooner.
Okay.
Yeah. 2021 ni kibarua.
2021, and that's the next question. 2021, how's it looking from your eyes with major events such as the imminent Nairobi gubernatorial by-election? I think the most imminent by-election sasa ni ya Machakos.
Ya Machakos.
Ni ya Machakos. And then BBI referendum dates, and then of course post-COVID life. Nairobi wise, things are just hanging, you know. Honestly, I can't even give a proper answer about our position right now, because we are still a county. We have a county assembly. I don't know whether we have a county executive committee now that there's no governor in the first place. You know, our position is we're just confused, and it seems like there's nothing we can do about it. They're not consulting us. It seems like decisions are being made at the national level. So I wonder where we will lie after. You
made a good point. Now that we know national level wamekuwa kitusumbua sana, like we can't even speak as Nairobi County, what should we do?
Maybe speak through our MCAs, but our MCAs are there to hold the governor accountable. And now there's no governor to hold accountable.
But
okay, there's a governor technically, because the Senate has not yet approved of that impeachment.
Okay, so yeah, for sure. I thought you were even telling us Polycarp is going to come back.
This guy has not been around.
Listen, for me, 2021, when it comes to even this Nairobi County needs to fight for their county back. Being synced, like moved into national metropolitan services is a no-go zone for me. I don't think it's worth
But
it.
don't you think it's worked so far so good?
Yeah, it's worked because it's been fueled
Maggie
by
has
an.
done
It's
some good
worked
work.
because it's been fueled by an individual, but it won't last. He'll go.
Okay.
Where will NMS stand? And that's what I'm trying to tell people. Fight for your county. Let the national level understand that you are the people who have the first say. We devolved this system so that they could work for us better. If we take it back to national level, they're going to do things from a national level.
Yeah.
And so I don't see NMS working for Nairobi County. We're being sold. The highest bidder has come. He's given us sijui sweets and nice chocolates. We are liking them right now. And then he's going to act on us.
What about BBI? BBI.
We've covered this one for me.
BBI, they say nobody can stop reggae. Yeah?
Reggae needs to stop.
It's the reggae, and they say nobody can stop reggae. So, one thing that's definite, I believe it's definite. It seems it's definite. People are even taking this thing to court, is that there's going to be a referendum next year. Make sure you register and vote, by the way. Whether or not you support this thing, you're still a Kenyan. You owe it to yourself to take part in making a decision, either yes or no.
Yeah, figure out where your voter's
sure
card is.
Yeah. But still, nowadays, you don't need a voter's card. You just need your ID. But just make sure you register as a voter, because I'm sure if you're going to have a referendum, then IBC is also going to start registering voters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated with 14 billion going down the drain.
Going down the drain.
14 billion is going down the drain.
Alafu wanze hizo stories za procurement. Algurea. There was a company that was trending in 2017. Algurea, sijui it had been given the tender irregularly. Hizo story, we are going back there next year.
Alafu na wale watu sijui wa French walikuwa wametupatia sijui other
servers na lala France. This time make sure mseme servers iweko in a country whereby you can access.
Tunaweza zipata.
Mkizitaka mtaambiwa watu wanalala.
Ama tupatie hata Safaricom hiyo deal kwa sababu wao waliamuaga morals. Tukwe tuna server zao tu. Hii story ya kushinda hapa tukianza kuambia sijui server ziko France haziwezi funguliwa, zimefunguliwa.
Watu wamelala France.
We don't. I don't accept it.
So,
yeah. 14 billion going down the drain is very frustrating for me.
And life post-COVID. Is there post-COVID life? I don't think so. I think now we have to learn to live with COVID-19. Because, when you say life post-COVID, it means that COVID is now going to be something that happened. Really happening. We survived.
I think life post-COVID is just asking that question of economically. Because health-wise, fine. At some point, we'll have to use thousands and thousands to buy the vaccine for ourselves because the government ain't doing... They're not doing anything for us.
Do you think the government will get these vaccines for us? I saw something, I think just some random blog, international blog, and from these news websites, like in the BBC, and they were saying, for people to get these vaccines, like, for people, citizens to get these vaccines, they'll have to get these vaccines at the mercy of their government. So if your government is willing, you will get it for free. If your government
tutaenda kulia woye kwa UN kwa sababu UN nimesikia imepurchase
pesa. Like I think if we've borrowed money in the name of COVID, then we should be able to buy COVID-19 vaccines with that money. Then those vaccines should be availed to us as the Kenyans.
It's not happening. Mi naona tu tukiomba hizo 700 million UN imeenda ikapurchase kutoka Pfizer. Tuzililie, tukae tena tukiwa Waafrika wenye wanaumia. Hapo ndio watatuma hapo picha za wale Waafrika wanakuaga wakikanja. Save a child from COVID.
Wow.
It's just gonna... Economically, people have lost jobs. Jobs are not gonna go back to the same normal.
Life post-COVID.
Office spaces are gonna be... free, manze, literally free, because people have learned that you can work now with a laptop.
You can work from home. You can actually make money online. People have actually learned that you can make money online. So I think there's academic writing, and there are other things you can also do online.
There's gonna be a space for virtual assistance, but it hurts a lot of people. But we'll have to learn that now the digital age is now.
We have to embrace.
You have to embrace it. Has been pushed to a point.
AI, technology,
it's a conversation that we must have at some point. But economically, I know people have to be flexible. When you look umezoea ile 9 to 5 ita change.
9 to 5 curfew. Akibedime, I hope after next year kutakuwa na curfew. I'm tired of curfew, to be honest.
Look, we are out of time. Final words is what's in store for us 2021 with the podcast and anything that you want to say as we finish this year.
Well, listeners, it's been amazing. I think I love saying it's been amazing a lot. So yeah, it's been awesome. It's been good. It's been fun. And I hope I've impacted your life in one way or another through the civic education that I have been conducting alongside Timo. Next year, feel free to tell us what you'd like us to discuss. Feel free to give us your feedback, to make your recommendations through social media. Acute, you can always tag Acute.
Acute Media.
We don't have our Twitter handle.
Hiyo ni next year tunaanza kuleta tuna launch manze.
Zack and Mel niliona wako na yao.
Zack and Mel manze wako
na yao na iko active. They even tag Octopizo.
Nakwambia.
So maybe we can do a Zack and Mel thing with the social media next year.
I know for sure.
Yeah, and of course, you should look forward to learning more about your rights, because we are gonna have 3 episodes of the Bill of Rights from next year.
I think it's gonna go beyond 3. If we try squeeze it on, you see, the rights, human rights ni important, man. Kama zitapita 3, wacha tu zipite, but tukwe tumeelimisha watu. Yeah, I think. But tumejiekea limit ya 3, lakini wacha tuone venye kutaenda.
And also next year, probably we'll consider discussing the positions, the 6-piece. We were thinking of having a series called 6-piece. So probably we can do that next year, Timo, so that 2021 next year will be the year right before the 2022 elections. And it's important that our listeners get to understand, what is the role of a governor, what is the role of an MP, where do they draw the line, like what is it that a governor can do that an MP cannot do. Just like, by the way, this past week when this doctor died, it was being brought to light that there are doctors that are employed by the national government and there are doctors employed by the county government. And so doctors, I saw Governor Alfred Mutua of Machakos boasting, which is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing, saying that, there's no doctor in his county who has not been paid. The doctors in Machakos County have been paid. They have health insurance. So the doctors who might be suffering in Machakos County are the ones employed by the national government. So, we have to know the difference between now, the governor, the MCA, what they do, what they cannot do. Pali mtu anaweza kuwa ame cross line, who can construct roads, whom can we question for this and that and that. So you can probably do that next year. And of course, we can also discuss BBI, maybe whatever we might not have discussed.
We're done
previous.
with that.
Timo, there's a new document. There's a new document and they've introduced stuff in that new document. So we might have to discuss the new stuff that have been introduced in the new document. Because when we discussed BBI, that was before they released the document story that is in place right now.
The moral of the story.
We might have to discuss that.
Check, unajua hata BBI pass hapa hatutaweza kuongea juu ya 6-piece juu atakuwa ameongeza sijui another 5 pieces on it. So your people, get your voters card ready, go register as a voter, just go and just say no, period.
Just read BBI and vote according to how you want to.
Fine.
Mr. Kwambi useme no. Me personally nitasema no.
Elsie wants to be politically correct on the show.
No, me sitasema no, but Mr. Kwambi useme no. Me personally, I don't support the BBI, but also take your time, read the BBI. If you want to support it, feel free to do so.
Stop reggae. Did you have anything else to add?
No, that's all from me.
All right. I think for me, you've said it right. I think what we just need to also think through who are we gonna bring on the show now to help also, or start another conversation.
Shed some light.
Yeah, shed some light. The social media platforms is one of the things that we also need to put up, because we know we can't give Acute all the job for Proactive, because we also want to ask questions and people to even start the conversations down there. So we're just going to make sure that we support Acute on some things, so that probably kazi yao tu retweet and all that. So please watch out for those handles. What am I missing? I think I'm just looking forward to 2021, the conversation moving from the studio to the streets, and people having these conversations down there and changing the whole narrative. I think that's what I'm looking for. I mean, in terms of show, we are ready, man. Say, hey, yo, Sija, hey, 6 P's. Devolution will probably have its own thing. Yeah. So content is up and running and it's ready for you guys. I think my last words for you guys is always, if you like the show, what are you doing about it? That's the biggest thing. Let it not be me and Elsie are here to let you have to be informed and then uko informed peke yako. It's not worth information if you don't share it. It's not worth it.
So make sure as you go to Shags, this holiday, shed some light. Tell people, talk to people about Proactive. Tell them what you've learned through Proactive. If they're able to access the internet, encourage them to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, if they have questions to ask, let them ask these questions, and that it will help us and guide us along the way on what to even discuss about. And ukienjoy keki poa, so unajua venye ukikula keki poa venye unaendaga ukiambia wase venye hiyo keki ni tamu. That's the same thing we are looking for here. Such that hii keki ni tamu, hii keki ni poa, tunaienjoy, inaitwa civic education, but unafanya nini nayo? Endo uambia wase pia kama kule hii keki, ama hata uende ushare hiyo keki yenye ulipata huko waweze kuienjoy. Ama kanyama, kama toxic masculinity watasema ni kanyama sio kakeki. So ako kanyama kama kalikuwa katamu, utaambia watu juu yako kanyama na utaenda ushare. And that's, I think, the biggest thing I want to say as we finish the year for people. I mean, if you like it, what are you doing about it?
Otherwise, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, see you next year.
Niliwameza hata kuna kitu kaa hiyo tunafaa kuongezea. Hey, have a good Christmas, guys.